Hey there, and welcome back to Understanding Depression. If you've been following this podcast, you know we dive deep into the many ways depression affects lives, often in invisible ways. Today's topic is something that hits close to home for many: social withdrawal. You might not see it coming. Maybe it starts with declining a dinner invitation, or skipping a group chat, or ghosting a friend's message because the thought of replying feels too much. And slowly, without realizing it, you disappear not just from others but from yourself. In this episode titled Social Withdrawal, when depression makes you disappear, we're exploring why pulling away from people is such a common but misunderstood symptom of depression, what it feels like, what's happening beneath the surface, and most importantly, how we can begin to reconnect. Social withdrawal is one of the most misunderstood symptoms of depression. In this heartfelt and informative episode of Understanding Depression, we explore why people with depression often pull away from loved ones, what's happening beneath the surface, and how we can begin to reconnect, both with others and with ourselves. We share real-life stories, psychological insights, and compassionate guidance for those experiencing social isolation, as well as for the people who care about them. Whether you're navigating depression yourself or trying to support someone who is, this episode offers hope, clarity, and connection. So make yourself comfortable, take a deep breath, and stay with me. This might be a hard topic, but you're not alone. Let's start with a simple question. What is social withdrawal? At first glance, it might look like someone being shy or needing alone time. But social withdrawal in the context of depression is different. It's not about choosing solitude. It's about being trapped in it. When depression sets in, it can make even the smallest social interactions feel exhausting, overwhelming, or pointless. A person might stop answering texts, avoid social gatherings, or isolate themselves at home, not because they want to, but because they feel unable to connect. And here's something important. Social withdrawal is not a sign of rudeness or selfishness. It's a symptom, like a fever is a symptom of an infection. The person pulling away is often battling shame, hopelessness, or emotional numbness. They're not disappearing to hurt anyone. They're disappearing because they're hurting inside. So why does this happen? What's going on in the mind when someone with depression pulls away from others? Depression distorts thinking. It can convince someone that they're a burden, that they have nothing to offer, or that no one wants them around. This self-stigma becomes a barrier to connection. On a biological level, depression affects neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that help regulate mood and social bonding. When those systems are disrupted, so is our motivation to seek contact, pleasure, or comfort from others. Then there's the issue of energy. Depression can drain you. Just brushing your teeth or eating a meal can feel like climbing a mountain. Now imagine trying to make small talk, show up at work, or spend a night out. It's not just hard, it can feel impossible. Let me tell you about Marissa. Marissa used to be the planner in her friend group, always organizing brunches, sending memes, calling just to check in. But over a few months, something changed. She stopped replying. Her texts became short or non-existent. Eventually, the invitations stopped coming too. She felt invisible, but in some ways she wanted to be. She didn't want anyone to see how empty she felt. Even though she missed her friends terribly, reaching out felt like lifting a truck. This is the cruel paradox of depression-driven withdrawal. You crave connection, yet it feels unreachable. You hope someone notices, but when they do, you feel ashamed. You want to explain, but you can't find the words. Marissa eventually reached out to a therapist, and with support, she began to rebuild. Not all at once, but step by step. Social withdrawal doesn't just affect the person experiencing it. It ripples outward. Friends and family may feel confused, hurt, or rejected. They might interpret the silence as disinterest or even anger. Without understanding the root cause, relationships can strain or break. This can reinforce the depressed person's beliefs. I'm a bad friend. Nobody cares. I'm better off alone. And the cycle continues. But here's a hopeful truth. This cycle can be interrupted. With awareness, communication, and compassion, both inward and outward, healing is possible. So how do we begin to break through the isolation? 1. Start small. Reply to one message. Wave at a neighbor. Sit in a cafe where people are. Even if you don't speak, Micro-connections matter. 2. Be honest if you can. A simple, "I'm struggling right now," or "I miss you but I don't have the energy to talk" can go a long way. You don't owe anyone full explanations, but sometimes, a little openness helps others understand. 3. Seek professional support. Therapists can help untangle the thoughts that feed isolation. Support groups, online or in person, offer a space where you're seen and heard without judgment. 4. Don't wait to feel ready. If you wait until you feel like socializing, you might be waiting a long time. Sometimes the action comes before the motivation. And if you're the friend, the sibling, the partner wondering what's going on, please hear this. They're not ignoring you because they don't care. They might be drowning quietly. What can you do? Keep reaching out. Gently, let them know you're there, even if they don't respond. Send a kind text. Drop off a note. Invite them without pressure. Most of all, resist the urge to take their distance personally. Their silence is not a reflection of your worth. It's a symptom of their struggle. Sometimes the first step toward reconnecting with others is reconnecting with yourself. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? What's one thing I can do today that brings a spark of life? Who makes me feel safe? And gently, without pressure, begin to build that bridge back. Not just to the world, but to your own voice, your own presence, your own worth. Because you haven't truly disappeared. You're still here. Depression lies. Tells you that you don't matter. That you're alone. That no one would notice if you pulled away. But I want you to know this. Your presence matters. Even when you're quiet. Even when you're not okay. Even when you feel like you've disappeared. You are seen. You are remembered. And you are loved. If today's episode resonates with you, or if someone you love is going through this, consider sharing this episode. Let it be a reminder that silence doesn't mean absence, and that reaching out, in any form, is a powerful act of connection. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you feel moved. Your story, your voice, your journey could help someone else feel less alone. Thanks for listening to Understanding Depression. Take care of your heart. And if you've withdrawn, it's okay. You can come back. One step at a time. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical or psychological advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or mental health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or mental health concern. If you or someone you know is in crisis, please seek help from a qualified professional or contact emergency services in your area.